everybody, my name is Emma and welcome to a Nerdy Wednesday! What do you guys think of my Eeyore kigurumi that I got for Christmas this year? It's so soft and warm and snuggly. I could wear it all day, every day, even in the summer. It's so great. I love Winnie the Pooh stuff. Oh my god, it's too hot in here. So the reason that I'm wearing a kigurumi in a video is because I want to talk about the time that I went to the sleep doctor, aka the time that I got a sleep study done. So I've had some weird stuff going on with my sleep. Sadly, the day that we got the email that McNally Smith was closing, which I think was the 14th of December, starting that day for at least a month, I could not go to sleep before 5 a.m. Which is really sad because I still had a couple more days of school left, meaning that I got less than 3 hours of sleep a night and wasn't drinking coffee because I thought I had a stomach ulcer. I don't, which is good, but I missed caffeine so much. And then I've also had this weird thing where after I eat breakfast, I get super warm and like my brain feels really weird and I like have to lie down and get super drowsy, which is really bad because that used to happen in the car as I was driving to St. Paul from where I live out in the suburbs. You know, nearly crashing into other cars on I-94. Not good. Thankfully that hasn't happened recently. And so my doctor was instantly like, oh, it's a stomach ulcer, and I was like, where did you get that idea from? As once I got home I checked the symptoms for a stomach ulcer and I had none of them. But anyway, I still took the medication, did all the stuff, avoided caffeine, which was really sad, not having caffeine for 2 months. And then it was a little bit better, but I was still having some symptoms, and so they were like, okay, why don't we do a sleep study to see if you have this weird thing of like hypersomnia, and then let's also get a stomach like scope where they put a camera down in your stomach. If you want me to talk about the weird time that I got a stomach scope done, it was a very interesting process, let me know down in the comments below. It was a very interesting story. But yes, so on the 31st of January, I went into the doctor and got a sleep study done. Now my mom and dad have already had sleep studies done. They both have really bad apnea, especially my dad. So they've gone in and like gotten tested and got CPAPs and stuff like that, which is a mask that basically gives you oxygen and keeps your airways open so you don't choke to death on your own tongue sort of type thing. And my parents have wanted me to get a sleep study for a long time just to like see. So they told me some stuff that was like happening. My dad was like, yeah, they just took you up to some wires and stuff and then you sleep. You have some stuff, you can watch TV and all that stuff, nice Tempur-Pedic bed, all that good stuff. It's like being in a really nice hotel except you're hooked up to wires. My dad lied. There was no Tempur-Pedic bed. Anyway, so I went to the doctor and the nurse that I had actually did my mom's sleep study, and so it was very nice. She knew my mom, very nice nurse. And so I was taken into a room first to like change into my pajamas and sign some paperwork, you know, like the disclosing. Are we allowed to say if someone asks if you're here? Do you consent to treatment and payment? All of that stuff, you know, adulting. And the room looked like this. I colored it in purple because purple's great. So we had the bed, and I brought my own pillow because, you know, my pillow could have been doing something weird to me, so I wanted to make sure. Over here they had a little box with wires up like on the headboard sort of thing that connected all of the stuff so they could see it. And then a cabinet full of even more wires and some other stuff like tape and all that stuff. Got the windows and the door. They had a chair for you to sit in or something, I don't know. They had a phone, a TV, a fan in case you got warm, and then this huge fucking camera pointed right at the bed. It was this huge circular, like tubular camera hanging from the ceiling, and just looking at that, it was like, I feel like I'm in a very nice Norwegian prison cell and I'm being spied on by the government. And just looking at the camera was like, I'm fucking watching you, camera. I know you're watching me, but I'm fucking watching you. And it was really weird. And I've had some troubles in the past in hospitals where I've had to be in a residency for a little bit, and I had to basically not panic myself, and it was like, I'm in a lab setting, I'm getting tests done, I'm not being held here. So that was very unnerving. And so I changed into my pajamas and then was led into a room where I got a bunch of wires stuck to me. Got some stuck to my legs, got some stuck to my chest, like to measure my heart rate, got some bands around my chest and stomach to see the effort that was put in for my breathing. I got some all over my face and head, and that was really interesting to me because I was this close to being a neuroscientist but then chose the music track instead. And I didn't realize how complex this was until she took out a measuring tape and started measuring my head and putting little red crosses and stuff on my head where she was gonna stick the goop and all that stuff and the wires and then tape it down and all of that fun stuff, parting my hair, blah blah blah, all over. All in all, it took half an hour for her to put everything onto me. In the end, I looked like this. Terrifying, right? But that's not even the worst of it. So I was there, just in my wires, kind of like calming down and all of that stuff, you know, reading, trying to get ready to go to sleep. And then she comes in and finishes off the stuff that she needed to put on me. So then I had some tubes in my nose, like the oxygen tubes. And then she had some weird thing where it was 2 loops and then 1 loop that also hooked around my ears. They went up my nose and then over my mouth to like see when I'm breathing out my mouth, when I'm breathing out my nose. It was some weird sensor stuff. And I wasn't able to get to a picture of it because I instantly had to go to bed and like turn off the lights. But it looked like I belonged in the ICU right now. Like it looked like I was this close to death. So then when she got done doing all of that stuff and hooking up to a cable box that would have everything in one place, so if I needed to, you know, go to the bathroom or something, she could just unhook that instead of unhooking all the wires. She turned off the lights and then went into like the room where they watch all this stuff. And then she called me on the phone and like put it on speakerphone sort of thing where she was going to have me do the setup stuff like blink twice and then we'll see the blah 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 things and we'll know that everything is calibrated and working and all that stuff. But just hearing the phone ring in a pitch black room, I was like, I'm in Five Nights at Freddy's and we're about to die. Shut the fuck up, Scott Cawthon. Get out of here, phone guy. It was terrifying. To be completely honest with you, it was terrifying. So she adjusted some wires and stuff, some of the stuff wasn't sticky enough, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. And then I go to sleep. Now, between you and me, I normally don't wear pajamas. And if I do, it's like, I'm over at someone's house, or, you know, I'm in a hotel, blah blah blah, that sort of thing. So I was only wearing shorts and my Star Trek t-shirt because I get overheated really easily. But I didn't realize how cold the hospital room was going to be, and they only had really thin blankets. I should have, you know, definitely brought my own, you know, big blanket or had the courage to ask for one because I was freezing. And that really made it hard for me to fall asleep. Eventually I did fall asleep, and I only woke up like once or twice, maybe a little bit, just for like, you know, a couple seconds. And I had these very interesting dreams that involved one of my classmates who I do have a crush on and being like, you know, trying to, you know, make fun of him because that's how I flirt with guys apparently. And then I was speaking fluent Spanish, which was just gibberish because I'm not even remotely fluent in Spanish. And then my cat was posed like Tubbs from Nekoatsume and I was trying to get a picture, but then she started moving. It was really weird. But then I also had a dream where I woke up and was like, what time is it? Looked at the clock, it was 3:30, I was like, oh, okay, closed my eyes. Wait a minute, there's no clock in here! What was that? Was I half awake, half asleep? I don't know. And so a new nurse woke me up at 8 and started detaching all the things and used some isopropanol to wipe off some of the glue stuff. I was able to get dressed listening to 93X in the morning where they were talking about all of the poor people coming from Philadelphia to watch the Super Bowl. And I was like, ha! they get terrible cold weather with -20 wind chill. Get off my lawn! And then I packed up all my stuff and went home, and as soon as I walked outside to go to my car, my nose had crystals in it. Came home, had some coffee, had some breakfast, and that was the end of that. Until just the other day when I got my results finally. They look like this, nice graphs showing like, am I on my back or on my side, what level of sleep I'm in, my breathing, all of that fun stuff. So it turns out I'm basically a perfect sleeper. So, you know, there's no problem there, except I'm a really, really long sleeper. And yet I love to sleep deprive myself constantly by staying up until 3 a.m. reading fan fiction, then get up at 5:30 because I want to go out, get some Starbucks before everyone wakes up, and write some music and go shopping for stuff. I love to torture myself. But yeah, so that was my time getting a sleep study done. I hope you enjoyed this little anecdote, and if you're getting a sleep study soon, I hope this helps you out. Another thing is if you start having more than 5 apneas an hour, they will come and put a CPAP on you. So that thankfully didn't happen. I didn't get woken up during the night, but apparently basically as soon as my dad fell asleep, they were waking him up being like, yeah, you've had so many apneas, here's a CPAP so you don't fucking die on us. Yeah, thankfully I only had 4 apneas an hour, so I don't need a CPAP, but I might in the future, which would suck. They're so loud. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, you can give it a thumbs up. Click subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I've got some amazing stuff, some cool sketches, hopefully some music eventually once the person that I want to record my music sets up their thing and moves into their new house, blah 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 music. And I've also got some cool cosplay stuff coming up too as we come towards con season. Leave a comment down below if you'd like me to talk about that time that I got the stomach scope. It's not gross, but it's just, you know, a funny story. And tell me if you've got any sleep problems. Do you snore a lot? Do you constantly wake up? Or are you like a sleeping like a baby type person? Let me know, I'd love to know. Just randomly. I don't know why. Also tell me if you really like this kigurumi, and if you have any kigus yourself. Well, I guess that's all I've got for you guys today, and I will see you guys next time.